The 9-to-5 grind only gives us the weekend to really live.
But how much can you do in just 64 hours?
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jason.
During the week, I work as a CEO of a tech startup, and Jason works as a mountain guide and performance coach.
With full-time jobs and families, our weekdays are slammed, but our weekends are for crushing adventure.
The concept is simple. We have just 64 hours from 5 p.m. on Friday to 9 a.m. on Monday to go as far, as fast, and as hard as we can, with one goal.
To beat Monday.
On this episode of Beat Monday, Mike and Jason return to Mexico to take on a challenging two-part mission on the country's highest peak, Pico De Orizaba.
Look at that thing. It's gorgeous.
Mike and Jason visited this mountain in 2017. On that trip, they had biked from the coast to the base of the mountain before summiting. Now they are returning to make another summit attempt of the 18,000-foot peak via a different route on the southern face.
We're at 17,200 feet. Everything's freezing around us. Full-on conditions on Orizaba today.
On day 2, they plan to run a new 33-mile trail called the Gran Sendero Pico De Orizaba that circumnavigates the mountain.
It's challenging, it's beautiful, it's unique, it's a really, really special place.
It will be a challenging mission against time, sleep deprivation, elevation, and weather. The adventure starts now.
We just touched down in Veracruz. We're waiting for our friend Nadia to come pick us up, and then we're going to head up to Orizaba and start this mission. Nadia is a friend of Jason and I's who helped us with an Orizaba trip back in 2017. It was one of our first Beat Monday missions ever. It was super fun, but we're excited to have a little reunion with the mountain this weekend. We're going to start climbing in just a couple hours, so it's time to get going. Hey Nadia, how's it going?
How are you?
Good. Well, it's good to see you. Oh, we're excited. We're already up against the clock here, huh?
Yeah. My name is Nadia Mota. I'm from Orizaba, Veracruz, and I working on this trail for the last 5 or 6 years. We are searching for the international visitors. Beside the landscaping and the mountains, we want to know the people who lives here, the culture, the food, everything about the culture in these little towns.
The dormant volcano, Pico De Orizaba, is Mexico's highest mountain, standing at 18,491 feet high. Its rugged terrain features multiple microclimates, from tropical at lower elevations to alpine forests higher on the mountain. While Mike and Jason have summited this mountain in the past, they'll be taking a different route this time, via the southern face. But first, they have a 4-hour drive to the remote trailhead and are already behind schedule thanks to a flat tire on the production vehicle.
All right, man, just like that, back on the road.
Before heading out on the trail, the guys make a quick stop at one of 2 refugios, or mountain huts, on the south side of Orizaba to change into their cold weather gear.
And so we are getting out of our travel clothes we've been in, all night. From here, the temps are gonna get colder, it's gonna get more real. We're going up high in the mountain. So we're getting all ready now. We're gonna hop back in the Jeep and head up the hill a little bit further to the high point, which is the traditional trailhead for the south side of Orizaba.
It is nearly sunrise. It's like about 7 a.m., so we are not even close to being on schedule. So we're ready here. We're gonna start trudging uphill. Let's do it. Watch started? Oh yeah. Nothing like a cold start at 15,000 feet. Oh man, we've already arrived at the hut. I am definitely feeling the altitude as we move. There's a little bit of moisture in the air, but we're gonna keep jamming here, keep a steady pace. Hopefully we'll be up there in a couple hours.
The mountain's wetter than expected. I think our forecast is 25-mile-an-hour sustained winds, 25 degrees Fahrenheit, and clear as it can be. It's not clear. Temps are probably spot on. This moisture is the only thing that's like giving me a little concern. So I'm trying to stay as dry as I can. Other than that, morning's going great. We're chipping away. We're climbing Orizaba.
Let's cut hard right here. See if we can get back over the snow on the right-hand side. This is bullshit.
We're at 17K, 17,000 feet. To keep it safe, to kind of keep poking our head a little higher, so I think that's what we're gonna do. Just take it slow and make sure hands and feet and toes are warm. I don't think it's gonna really let up, but we don't want it to get worse. So we're gonna keep an eye on that.
The wet weather and freezing temperatures higher on the mountain continue to get worse, forcing most of the production crew to turn back and return to the vehicles.
I turned around. I had like early onset hypothermia, so.
Meanwhile, Mike and Jason try to push forward, heading towards the summit.
We're at 17,200 feet. If you can see, everything's freezing around us. We are pulling the plug. It's really cold. We have pretty good gear, but it's just getting worse, more exposed, and it's rhyming up. My entire suit is just encrusted in ice. Nice and frozen. All right, going down. Woo-wee. Full-on conditions on Orizaba today.
Delve crew, do you copy?
Before we leave this hut, we just want to confirm that everyone will be ready to go once we get to the car. We're all pretty cold up here. We did push it as far as we could. We went just above 17. No choice but to turn around.
Yep.
So let's get out of here. We've been historically very lucky with weather on Beat Monday missions, and this trip just didn't pan out so far. We'll see. We still got another day tomorrow, but today definitely like made up for all the good luck we had.
Turned back from the summit attempt, Mike, Jason, and the crew returned to the village to dry out and warm up.
We made it.
I'm gonna hang up all my clothes in hopes that I have one dry item to start tomorrow with.
With some extra time on their hands, the guys decide to explore the local area, play a quick game of basketball, and pick up some supplies before tomorrow's trail run around Orizaba.
If it was easy and always great, it wouldn't be as fun and challenging. So excited to see what tomorrow has in store for us.
Today we're gonna go check out the Gran Sendero trail. It's 45 kilometers long. It has almost 10,000 feet of vertical gain, and I think this run's gonna take us about 15 hours. You know, in normal circumstances, I think we can do it a lot faster, but considering we're gonna be well above 13,000 feet for the majority of the day, I think that's gonna take a lot more time and energy than a normal trail run. Should be a very exciting high mountain adventure today.
The Gran Sendero Pico De Orizaba is the new trail created by Nadia and her team, finishing it in 2019. It's a roughly 33-mile high-altitude loop filled with rugged terrain and spectacular views. The trail is so new that Mike and Jason will be the first to add the trail to the Gaia GPS app in the hopes that others will come and experience it.
All right,
Jay, you ready, buddy?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're just about 6 miles in.
I know.
The Gran Sendero trail. We had a little precip early on, but it seemed to have let up, so fingers crossed for good weather.
The name in Spanish is Gran Sendero Pico De Orizaba. It's about a big trail that goes all around the volcano, about 4,000 meters above sea level. We create this trail so the people who lives here can look for jobs in the tourist services. I think Mike and Jason, they are going to enjoy very much because of the landscaping, and maybe the weather is not that good today or this weekend, but it's part of the experience.
It's okay if the temps are cold and it's snowing. It's like easy to deal with. But if the temps are like just at freezing and it's raining, it's really hard to keep your core body temperature in a safe place. That was the challenge we were up against yesterday. Hoping today we don't experience that. This is the new official team member of Beat Monday. He's been with us for the last 4 or 5 miles now. Very friendly, super loyal. I think he's gonna send the whole trail with us, which is a little bit concerning because now I have like the liability of trying to figure out what we're gonna do with him once we go home. For the last 3 Beat Monday missions, we've kind of been hosed by the weather and really would like to be able to show you guys some of these beautiful places as opposed to just showing you guys what the inside of a ping pong ball looks like. How you doing, Big Daddy?
I'm good, just trying to stay warm. My hands and feet are freezing.
Oh man.
First time we're not getting crushed by rain. I can actually see Orizaba way up there somewhere.
We are marching up to the high point of today's mission, and then we have about 8 miles left. We keep it steady. Fingers crossed for good weather all the way through.
We're trying to sync up with the trail. We lost it a little bit close to our GPX track, but we're just wandering through this meadow of the death flowers, which look like this. The spikes, they're not the nicest plants.
Let's just stay up here, but trend right.
Yeah.
So it intersects.
Yeah, agreed.
It'd be so helpful if it just stopped being foggy for 1 second.
I know, right?
Navigation, for the most part, was pretty good. There was a couple sections there that were challenging, but it's a pretty well-marked trail. Woo. Thanks, man.
14,150 feet.
About 24.5 miles in. We've been going for about 13 hours. All right. We've officially sent the Gran Sendero. Good job, dude. Wow, that was hard.
That was quite taxing. Mentally,
Oh my God.
physically, just at 14 hours.
Look at that thing.
It's gorgeous.
This trail really is world class. It's challenging, it's beautiful, it's unique. It's a really, really special place, and I'm psyched that we did this.
Yeah.
We beat Monday this weekend, but I am properly worked. So at about mile 8, we picked up a little dog here.
Well,
and
we'd gone through a couple villages, and there were tons of like wild dogs, seemingly wild dogs. And so we thought no differently of this one.
Yeah. I was so stressed out. I was like, oh God, I don't want the liability of this guy following me around the mountain. Ultimately, like, he was such a sweet dog. You know, he was so nice, and he just stayed with us literally for the whole time. He probably put in 21, 22 miles with us today. We had no idea that he was actually Rodolfo's dog.
And later we found out that this dog has done this trail twice.
And climbed Orizaba
summited twice.
So it's pretty
good
cool.
Partner.
Pretty cool to pick him up for sure. What a whirlwind. We came down to Mexico with a very ambitious Beat Monday schedule to climb Orizaba and then to run the new Gran Sendero trail. We were unsuccessful in summiting Orizaba on that first day, as you saw, but we had an incredible day today circumnavigating the mountain. It started off incredibly challenging, but we had some amazing moments when the sun came out and we got to see some of the views.
Mexico is incredible, as expected. Full of adventure, full of mental and physical challenges, and full of incredibly fascinating folks.
Nadia and her team have done an incredible job creating this new trail around this iconic mountain, and it was such a pleasure to be a part of this experience.